All right, here we are in the Web Design Google Classroom. We've spent, a whole week and then some on editing out the backgrounds of 6 different bumblebees. Well, the bumblebees were the same, but 6 different tools to do it. And then we spent Monday and part of Tuesday creating different backgrounds. And now it's time to really get into it. So I clicked on the thing that says Photoshop number 2, creating backgrounds for your website, because all of the assignments for the next week or so are here. And now it's time to look at create a home page with Photoshop. So that's number 3. And we're really getting into it now. So the preset is the web setting when we create a new document. We're going to use the web most common. We have to have a header, create a logo. Main content include photos with other backgrounds taken out and other elements, so you might have to refer back to that Bumblebee assignment to take out the background. We need some navigation buttons on our website. Even though we're only going to create one other page, we need to have a total of 5 navigation buttons, and we need to have a footer with your contact information. Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you don't know what I'm talking about, so if you can click on this example here, it will open up this example of a student work. So it's the logo. It's got 3 buttons plus some logos. We have a good background image here, several pictures, and an advertisement. That's one example of a website we're going to make in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and go back to the directions. And it says step 1, open a new Photoshop file. And we're going to go to File, New, Web Most Common, and change the resolution from 72 to 300. So here I am in Photoshop. I'm going to go to File, New, choose Web, Web Most Common, change that resolution to 300. This should be pretty easy. You did this 5 times in a row when you created 5 different backgrounds. And there it is, just a plain old background. And you know what? I did create 5 different backgrounds. So I'm going to go ahead and open up one of my backgrounds. I'm going to open up my second background. That one was pretty cool. And what I can do is drag. I'm going to go to Layer, and I'm going to say Flatten Image. And now in my Layers panel, instead of multiple layers, it's just the one. And I'm just going to drag this. And it's hard to see because the way the Screencast-O-Matic works, it's not showing me. So I'm on the Layers panel and I'm dragging it. And you can see it's in my little hand. I'm dragging it. I haven't let go of the mouse. I put it over my untitled layer. And I'm going to let go. And what that did was it put it on my artboard. So I have a blank layer and then I have a background layer. So that's what I'm going to start with, is the background layer. So very first thing I need to do is to save this and make sure I save it in the right spot. So the directions tell us to save it as your last name _ homepage in that Photoshop folder on the S drive. So if I go to File and Save As, and I'm going to save it as my last name, homepage, and make sure it's set to Photoshop as the type, and I'm going to say save. So far I haven't really done anything. I just have a background and it's saved as the right thing. So now I need a logo. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the logo for the Mad Rollin' Dolls, just as a quick example. So Madison Roller Derby. Go ahead and find the logo. There's our new logo. It's nice and fresh. So I'm going to choose Save Image As, and because I'm a teacher, it lets me choose where I save it. Yours will just go to your Downloads folder. So you're going to want to go to Photoshop and do File and Open, and then you'll have to figure out where you went. It's probably in your J drive. So what was that file called? Download.png is what mine was called. So I have to find it. Download. Now if you're having a hard time, you might want to pause this video until you can find the file you downloaded. Look over here for the one that has your ID number. and find my downloads. And desktop, maybe I put it on my desktop. There it is, download. So there it is. Now I've got to use the magic wand tool. And I've just selected around the edges, not the actual logo, so I'm going to go to select and choose inverse. Remember, you have all these different tools to choose from. You might need to go to Google, watch a YouTube video, or check out the Bumblebee tutorials that I made for you specifically, or even the handout for Bumblebee to figure out how to use those tools. But I'm going to hit Control-C for copy or edit copy. And now I can go to my homepage file and I can go to edit, paste, and use this little crosshairs tool, show transform controls. That lets me move my logo around wherever I want it. And if I look at the example we have here, it does have a logo kind of in the corner with some lines coming around it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to Photoshop and go ahead and I'm going to choose a line, and I'm going to make it 1 pixel wide, 1 pixel tall. I want my line to be just a plain black color instead of purple. And I'm just going to draw a line to go across my page. And that's not very thick, so I am going to select it and use my line tool again, and I can make it, maybe I want to adjust how thick it is. Try again. Maybe I don't like that one and I'll delete it. And so I'm going to grab that line tool again and make it thicker. I'm going to play around with it. You know, you have never done this before, so if I hold down the shift tool again, it's a perfect line. So there's my line. I'm not very impressed with that. Let's try, let's see, I have the line tool. And it's a black outline, black fill. I'm going to make it, oh, you know what? Over here is the weight. Why don't I make it 3 centimeters thick? And, whoa, that's crazy. That's more than I want. Let's do just a few picks. Ooh, still too thick. Maybe just 2 centimeters, because it was a 1/2 centimeter before. Oh, that's nuts. I don't want a shape, I want a path. Or maybe I want to use this rectangular tool, and I'm going to create a shape on this layer and use my paint bucket tool and the color black, and I'm just going to paint it in that way. That'll work. And I can even move my rectangular tool over here and get it on this side. Or maybe you have a distinct pattern, and so the paint bucket's not filling everything in. So on my layer, so I've switched it to the background layer, and maybe on the background layer I'm going to hit delete to get rid of I just want to get rid of that. Oh, I don't like it, so I'm going to delete it. Ooh. There we go. So now I have a white stripe, and I can make that any color I want, that solid color. Maybe I want to make my website look more of like a red style to go with my orange color. So I've got my logo and I've got my lines, and shoot, now it's time to make some boxes. So I remember how to use the shapes tool because I had some practice with that using the backgrounds. So over here where the shapes are, I'm going to go ahead and choose, I like the rounded rectangles. So I'm going to go ahead and create one box right here. Now I want all my boxes to be similar. Let's see, I make it white, and I need to paint it white. Ooh. Let's try that again. Shapes tool, white. Okay. So now my shape's not showing up. Alright, pause to be continued.